1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Still doing that, by the way. Alright, so obviously the big thing that 2K added last year in my team was seasons, and it's probably the best feature they added considering everything. I think it's best feature. I love it a lot. I think everybody can agree on that. Now, this season they did add Kevin Garnett as the level 40 reward, and he's had a lot of mixed opinions, and honestly, as you can see, I'm not on my account here. Shout out to UHG. I'll put his Twitter up on the screen right now if you want to go follow him. As you can see, this is his team that he used in the 250K tournament, and Kevin Garnett isn't even a starting center on his team, which is kind of sad considering how long you actually have to grind to get this card. Now, that's not to say Kevin Garnett is a bad card. Obviously, he's got stats. His stats are amazing. Like, we can all agree. 69 steals, a little bit underwhelming. He is kind of slow, in my opinion. 87 speed, it's a lie. If he feels a lot slower, I'll show it to you on the court. But this, I don't know if he's added any badges or anything, but obviously you can see Hall of Fame interceptor. Like, he's a great card still. But is he worth it over a card like, let's say, like, is he really worth it over a card like George Mikan, who is literally only 40k? You can get 40k easily, way faster than you can get Kevin Garnett. Let's just look at, he obviously can't compare them because Kevin Garnett is a power forward. But you can still see he has 4 Hall of Fame badges, and this card can get every badge in the game, which makes him just that much better. And looking at over at the stats, obviously Kevin Garnett does have that way better defense. That is the one thing you can give him. But George Mikan, he's got a way better release. Obviously his 3 ball's not as high, but his release is way better. I don't care what you say. His ball handle is almost 80, which makes him sometimes get by the other center, and that's kind of underrated. He also has a higher steal than Kevin Garnett. And, you know, it's only +6, but that +6 feels like a lot when you only have a 69 to a 75. It feels like a lot more than, let's say, a 94 to 99. He also has some pretty good speed. Now, it says that he's slower, but in my opinion, he feels faster. I don't know what's wrong with Kevin Garnett in this game, but he just feels slow. He's got a lot of hot zones on the court. Oops, I don't know why I have that on. Turn that off real quick. Obviously his release, I mean, it's a nice release. You have to be wide open to shoot this though, because, you know, at the center position you have very long defenders like KG, like Giannis, like D-Rob, who are going to be able to close out on his shot, and it's just not elite enough or fast enough to get off. As you can see, I mean, he feels, you know, he feels decently fast, but he doesn't feel like he has 86 speed. He doesn't feel like he has 86 lateral quickness in game. He feels like maybe like in the 70s, to be honest. I'm not sitting here trying to say that Kevin Garnett is worse. I mean, is worse than George Mikan, because he's definitely not. George Mikan's probably worse in a lot of defensive situations. He's probably better in a lot of offensive situations. But I mean, that's not to say Kevin Garnett is a bad card. I just don't think it's worth it to grind 4 KG if you can get a card like George Mikan for 40k, when you can put every single badge in the game. Obviously, you know, this KG, he does have gold sniper on him, which makes it a lot easier to shoot, probably why I was grading more. I just think in the grand scheme of things, when you look at KG versus a card like George Mikan, is it really worth it to grind over 100 hours to get that card when you can pay 40,000 for a card that you can add every badge to, and is probably just as good in almost every situation. And when there's also better cards in the game already, like David Robinson. Like, David Robinson is just better in every way than KG. It just kind of makes a card like KG obsolete, and that's not to say the next level 40 reward will be obsolete. I'm just saying that this season KG was not worth to grind for me. So yeah, I don't know. KG's not a bad card to say. He's just, I don't know, feels like a waste of time to grind him out when you can get better cards in the game already, and there's budget options that are just as good. But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. Peace.